7 on RTV6. This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
And now at 11, tornado warning aftermath. Tornadoes caught on camera across central Indiana, leaving damage and destruction behind. Good evening to you. At 11 o'clock, I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. We are bringing you live team coverage tonight. We're going to start with Kevin Gregory, who has been tracking these tornadoes throughout the evening. Kevin?
And I start with good news. Our severe weather threat has ended. There are no warnings in the RTV6 viewing area. There are multiple tornado warnings in the western portion of Ohio. You can see the storms exiting Indiana. Still some heavier rain there just to the east of Winchester and some lightning that will cross the state line. Any additional rain or isolated thunderstorms not expected to be severe. Strongest storms are off to the east. Here are the number of tornado reports from Madison County up into northern Grant and southern Wabash. Let's begin our coverage of the damage. Back to you.
All right. Kevin, thank you. Of course, we have crews all over affected areas, including the worst hit Pendleton at this hour, where the damage is extensive. We have crews there on the ground assessing.
Stephanie Wade is going to join us now. Stephanie, what have you been seeing? You've been following it all night, posting to Facebook. Where are you at right now?
Yeah, guys, well, if you drive down any road here right now in Pendleton, this is what you're going to see. Trees uprooted. The bottom of this tree right now is taller than I am. You can see every little bit of the root here. Sidewalks completely also uprooted and just crumbling. These bricks. And where this tree is leading to, it looks like it fell right now on this home. So this is kind of what people are seeing is down trees on their homes, on cars. The chainsaw is kind of a similar sound you'll hear when you're walking down these streets because they're trying to cut these trees down that are blocking the roads here. Still some safety crews up there on that street. That's Main Street up there. And what we were seeing, too, is a lot of gas leaks. So they were evacuating people up there. But that's kind of the main concern here. Obviously, all the power is out. These people are trying to figure out, okay, is my home okay? Is my yard okay? What do I need to protect here? And kind of just these families that are walking around. So we have been talking with some people tonight, hearing what it was like when the storm hit. Take a listen.
We saw the spinning, and I turned around for like 3 seconds, and the tree in our backyard actually fell, or in our neighbor's backyard, fell into our backyard, hit our barn, and one moment I saw yard, and the next is just a giant bunch of leaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been speaking with the safety crews here. I mean, there's Lapel Police Department, Fishers, firefighters. So really everybody in this area has come here to try to help. And they were kind of tasked, the police officers were tasked with going around and making sure everyone was okay, going door to door. And they tell me that they've been talking with people and they're saying, I'm okay, but my house isn't, my car isn't. So that's going to be kind of the cleanup here. They'll have to figure out what to do, next steps from here. But we'll kind of stick around this evening here in Pendleton. But for now, send things back to you guys.
All right, our Stephanie Wade live for us in Pendleton tonight. Stephanie mentioning that a lot of people are without power there. We did check utilities, and we did check with Anderson Municipal Light, and they say that they have about 3,700 people without power. We're also checking with Duke Energy, who had hundreds of people without power in that area. But as you can see in Stephanie's live shot, darkness.
Paris LaBelle is also on the scene for us in Pendleton. Paris, what have you been seeing this evening?
We're here at the American Legion, and this is where they are putting all of the media and some of the first responders. You can see one of the fire trucks here behind me from the McCordsville Volunteer Fire Department. This is really an all-out mutual aid effort from a lot of different agencies that are working together as part of the response here and seeing what they can do. We do know teams from Hamilton County, from Hancock County are all assisting right now. Multiple different agencies out here looking for damage. The EMA is telling us they are going house to house right now to make sure that everyone is safe. They say if there's no damage to your house and if you are in a safe place, stay inside your house. They say that's really important right now while they try and go to those damaged homes. They say they really don't need people out in. Seen some video of that damage that has been going on throughout Pendleton. As I said, the crews are going door to door, and we've talked to some people throughout the day. Here's what they have to say.
Oh my God, touchdown! Why is there no sirens?
That's video of one of the tornadoes touching down here in Pendleton. And we did talk to the Emergency Management Agency as well. Here's what they had to say about the response. And we'll get that for you in just a minute. As I said, again, multiple agencies out here right now going door to door to make sure everyone is being safe. They say really the biggest note is stay inside your home if you can, if it's safe to do so. That is really the safest place for you right now. We're going to send it back to you guys in Studio A.
Thank you, Paris, for that. And it is very important for people to stay put. Let the first responders handle what they can right now and then get to it later.
And stay out of the streets there.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things they're really stressing tonight. Our team coverage continues with Rafael Sanchez, who is in one of the hardest hit areas of Pendleton. State Street saw a lot of damage tonight, Rafael.
Mark and Amanda, good evening. A disaster here in Pendleton in Madison County. I am on State Street, as you can see behind me. Well, it's hard to see behind me. We are in the dark. All that lights the way here are the first responders. As you heard from Paris LaBelle, first responders from the entire area have responded as they're going door to door, trying to make sure that everyone is safe. Among the hardest hit areas here in Madison County tonight, they include Pendleton, Marklesville, as well as Huntsville. Here in Madison County, they've opened up Pendleton Heights High School as a place for shelter. If you need to seek shelter this evening, you need to go to door number 1. We did speak to Todd Harmison. He is the public information officer for the Madison County Emergency Management Agency. He saw the funnel cloud that he believes that caused all of this damage this evening here in these Madison County communities. This is what he saw. Listen to what he saw up above. We don't have that sound of him yet, but he did see the funnel clouds that were above his home. He said those funnel clouds, he was able to see them touch down. And obviously from the video we've seen, the pictures we've seen from my colleague Stephanie Wade, it is devastating. In fact, I'm just 5 blocks away from the heart of Pendleton. It's down that way. And all you can see tonight, if you could just zoom in for me, Otis Jones, our photographer, you can see some of the flashing lights that are really lighting the town of Pendleton this evening. That is what's keeping Pendleton sort of in the light this evening. I've also been told that this Pendleton is also known as Tree City, USA, and the folks here say that the ground was so wet, it was so saturated, that when that storm hit, many of the trees just came toppling down along State Street as well as Falls Park. Falls Park is a key place here in Pendleton where people gather for many of their recreational activities. The damage there is extensive. We are being kept away from that area. As we zoom back out here on State Street, we're being kept away from the zone. And that's a good thing because we need to let the first responders, Mark and Amanda, do their jobs. Once they let us in, we'll be able to talk to some people. We have spoken to some folks that have been walking around. I doubt that many folks will seek shelter this evening because it is not hot. And most people during a storm or after a storm, they want to make sure that they keep their homes safe. So I doubt that folks will seek shelter at the high school because it's not that hot. It stopped raining this evening, and they're going to want to protect their property. So we'll see what happens. We're monitoring the situation here. Again, streets into Pendleton, Marklesville, and Huntsville, all closed. All closed. Law enforcement asking all of you who may be curious, who may want to gawk this evening, not to do so. A, you won't be allowed in, but then you're going to get in the way of your neighbor's ability to get their homes back in order. For those of you watching this evening, whether you live in Kokomo or Anderson or Muncie or Newcastle nearby, you're being asked to wait. If you want to help in some capacity, we're expecting a news conference here at 11:15 that will give us more information about what you can do. But for the meantime, they just want you to hold off on any assistance until they can figure out exactly the extent of the damage. And that is the latest from Pendleton here in Madison County. Rafael Sanchez, now back to you.
Rafael, thank you for your continued coverage on this. Now, we have been seeing these storms roll throughout the evening and seeing damage across central Indiana, mostly in Pendleton. We are seeing a lot of roads closed, utility lines out, and first responders are trying to get there, so you need to stay inside of your homes.
Rafael mentioned a few communities there, Huntsville, LaPel, Pendleton as well. Many hit Madison County and Grant County the hardest. Of course, if there's a silver lining in this, we have not seen any reports of injuries, no reports of injuries or anyone being hurt, so that is a good thing in this. So everyone heeded the warnings as those storms were moving through to get into the central part of your house and the lowest part of your home.
Now, Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kevin Gregory is standing by now, who has been following these storms throughout the evening. Kevin, what are we looking at now for things to come?
Quiet overnight. So our severe weather threat has come to an end. The storms are over in Ohio. There is a low risk for severe storms tomorrow and multiple opportunities for more rain. We'll talk about that and have your hourly Tuesday forecast next.
Andy Moore, AvonNissan.com.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back to RTV6 News. We have been following the storms that have been hitting central Indiana throughout the evening. This is a photo we got of a funnel cloud in Bunker Hill this evening. All evening long, our viewers have been sending us photos through Facebook, email, Twitter. We appreciate getting those photos to understand completely what is going on across central Indiana. For more photos and videos, head to the RTV6 Facebook page and also the IndyChannel.com. Again, this is a photo that was sent in to us from Bunker Hill of a funnel cloud.
There are other stories we are covering tonight as well. For instance, how did human remains end up in a suitcase? The question tonight after neighbors on the southeast side of Indianapolis made a deadly discovery. Police were called to a creek along Villa Avenue near Raymond and Shelby just after 1 o'clock this afternoon. While the circumstances surrounding the death are unclear at this hour, police have this advice for anyone who may be in a difficult situation.
If something happens, this is what we suggest. And we tell people over and over, things happen to people. Call the police, let us handle it.
The Marion County coroner will determine the exact manner and cause of death and identify the remains. We will bring you updates as we learn new information on this.
Terrifying moments caught on camera. People inside of an AT&T store held at gunpoint by masked robbers. And it's not an isolated incident. 8 stores owned by Prime Communications have been robbed over the past 2 months. One of those robberies happened today, just hours after RTV6 interviewed the company's district manager.
For some people that we work with, it's devastating. It really puts them in a situation where they really feel like, they're helpless. And when you have a gun put in your face and, in some cases, they're pretty rough with folks and you corral them into the back.
Metro Police say cell phone store robberies have become a major issue in the past few months. And it's not just one city or county being targeted. Prime Communications is offering a $3,000 reward for information about the robberies to their stores. For info on how to contact the company, click on this story in the RTV6 app.
Saturday marked 1 year since the shooting at Noblesville West Middle School that injured a student and a teacher. Working for you, RTV6 spoke with Governor Eric Holcomb about whether the state is safer since that tragedy.
People are more alert and aware of the potential. We are more secure than we've ever been.
After Noblesville, the state paid for handheld metal detectors. 422 school districts took them up on the offer. That's more than 3,400 devices that cost the state more than $350,000. The governor says they're also supporting school districts with funding to help uncover where they're vulnerable and then develop a plan of action.
So we know that there is a means there to better control that than ever before. However, in addition to that, local school corporations, local communities are stepping forward and saying, we want to make sure we got the safest school in the country. And kudos.
Holcomb says school safety is not just the responsibility of the state and also local and federal government and community groups. Looking forward, he encourages schools to share with the state what is working and what is not working to improve school safety. Let's get back to our Storm Team 6 coverage of tonight's severe weather that moved across much of the northern half of our viewing area. Thanks to you, our eyes and ears out there as well with social media, we were able to see many vantage points of the storms as they made their way. This is a photo that was sent in by a viewer showing a funnel cloud, the tornado that hit near the Top Golf facility in Fishers there.
So this is 116th and I-69, and what we can't tell from this picture whether there was a touchdown or not, I think it's definite that this is the storm that then moved east into the Pendleton area and the southern portion of Madison County. So we're also getting video, and you can't tell whether it's all these different angles of the same events.
Right.
For example, in southern Wabash County, there are numerous reports of what we've seen in the video of a tornado. We don't know if that's just one yet. We don't know exactly what's happened in Pendleton. So there'll be National Weather Service out of northern Indiana, National Weather Service out of central Indiana tomorrow, converging on spots to determine ultimately whether it was a tornado and how strong it was and the path.
And a lot of viewers who reached out to us on social media were coming to us from different communities. We had one from Somerset, a lot from LaPel and Pendleton. So their vantage point were just different, but you're right, it could have been the same.
Absolutely. So we'll sort that out. And I don't know if you've mentioned the Bachelorette tomorrow, 3 to 5 p.m. in the afternoon in its entirety. So you'll see that from 3 to 5. All right, let's talk about our changing weather situation. The first change tonight, severe weather threat is over. That's the good news. Any chance for severe storms tomorrow is low. Rain chance 30%. Notice Wednesday, Thursday, pretty good shot. We'll see additional thunderstorms. And they mentioned up in Madison County, the ground is so saturated. It's not that we've had so much rain at any one time. It's the persistence of the rain that sets up a situation now where the ground is so saturated it's much easier to topple trees. There are the storms in Ohio. They're moving away from central Indiana. Notice northern Miami County, there's some additional showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but not expecting any widespread activity tonight. 70 in Peru to 77 in Bedford. It was quiet all evening for you. South of Indianapolis, no storms. The action was along the boundary, the warm front in the northern portion of the state, and the veil of warmth is being lifted toward lower Michigan, and that means another warm day tomorrow. Overnight, thunderstorms off to the east. We wake up 7 a.m., should be quiet and dry. Thunderstorm chances will increase during the heat of the day tomorrow. We'll still manage to get temperatures back into the low 80s. The wind will be out of the southwest, gusting close to 30 miles per hour. You can see that in the morning, southwest 15 to 25 with these higher gusts close to 30. The wind will begin to relax in the evening. Temperatures from north to south tomorrow well above average for this time of year. Almost mid-80s, a little warmer to the south. The chance for thunderstorms a little less also to the south, and in the metro area tomorrow, 85 degrees. We're going to go to a storm news conference now. Here, Mark and Amanda with more.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes,
we're going door to door, searching homes to make sure individuals are safe, make sure we do not have any people that are...
Kevin, thank you. What you're looking at is live coverage, a news conference there from the Madison County Emergency Management Agency, updating us on what rescue crews are doing. Let's listen in.
The roadway. Law enforcement is basically set up a perimeter roadblock around the community, and we are not allowing individuals into the town. If they live in the town of Pendleton, we're asking that they please go to friends, go to family. We do have a shelter set up at the Pendleton Heights High School. We just believe at this time it is not safe. We do not want people to be driving or walking around in the town of Pendleton due to power lines still being on the ground, energized, and the utility crews are currently working on that. Estimated number right now is about 4,000 people without power. We have searched and found damage to approximately 75 homes in the Pendleton-Huntsville area, and at this point we're reporting no injuries that we've been made aware of at this time, which is a blessing. All we can say is that people did heed the warnings. The National Weather Service got a tornado warning out. We do not know at this time if this was a tornado, straight line winds, or what the cause was. There are several videos floating around that show funnel clouds. The National Weather Service will actually make that determination. We will work with them. We do have law enforcement from state and local agencies on site. We have fire services from Madison County, Tipton County, Henry County, Hamilton County, Hancock County, and Indianapolis Fire Department Structural Response Team, or Structural Collapse Response Team, is also here. Indiana Conservation Officers have deployed officers here to assist with search and rescue, as well as Indiana State Police assisting, and all of the nearby law enforcement agencies are working on this incident. So right now the message is we want residents to shelter in place, which means stay inside their home if they can. If they believe that their home has been jeopardized or is damaged and they need to get out, we do again have the shelter set up at the Pendleton Heights High School. We are working with our COAD organization, which is Community Organizations Active in a Disaster. They coordinate with Red Cross, Salvation Army, all of those non-governmental response agencies. So they will be going to the high school to get set up with sheltering and all to take care of residents overnight. We have received word from South Madison Community Schools that their schools are closed tomorrow. as a result of the storms and the damage that's gone through the community right now. That is the information that we have. I will take a few questions if you have. Oh, somebody did ask me about Adams Township, which is Marklettville. We do not have any damage from the Marklettville area. We have heard from Sheriff Mellinger. His deputies have gone out into the county. Some of the rural roads like 500 South, 575 South, some of those rural, very sparse populated areas or farms, there is damage out in those areas as well with utility poles down, trees down, things like that. Again, law enforcement and fire crews have been by those homes. They're actually starting now a secondary search, going through the homes again just one more time to make sure that everybody is safe.
Can you talk about a gas leak? We were hearing from people that they were evacuated and told, go, this might be a gas leak, and we smelled it ourselves and so did they.
There was, and I will say there still is an odor of natural gas in downtown Pendleton. Vectren is on scene. Fire crews are there. Anytime that you have this type of a weather event, you have, poles, trees that come down on gas lines. You have natural gas leaks. The fire department, all the surrounding fire agencies responded to numerous fire alarms and smoke in buildings, and they were all fortunately found to not be fires. They were found to be things related to the power outage and the storm, which is a blessing that we didn't have any real structure fires through this as well. But emergency crews have responded to natural gas leaks, yes.
Did it under control?
We have been listening in on a press conference with the Madison County Emergency Management. Now, we are learning there is a shelter set up at Pendleton High School. If you need somewhere to go, they are saying if you have to go somewhere, try to go to family or friends. But again, Pendleton High School is open for you. There are 4,000 people estimated without power at this time, and they have found 75 homes approximately that do have damage in the Pendleton-Huntsville area.
And the underlying message they're stressing for anyone tonight who lives in that area is that if you can, shelter in place. Stay off the roads. The nighttime adds a layer of danger and hazard because you can't see where those downed power lines or trees are. And so that's an extra hazard, especially through the nighttime hours. Daylight will give us a chance to see the real damage out there. But until then, emergency management crews want people to stay off the streets and let first responders do their job and have the adequate room to do so.
We'll be right back with more coverage of this storm and reports of what we are seeing coming up after this break.
Store. This is home.
And let's pick up our conversation. We mentioned, of course, no additional severe storms overnight. And the threat tomorrow is low or marginal for strong storms that would develop during the heat of the day. Not much happening in the morning. Between 1 and 4, you see isolated storms most likely to the north. A few of those could be strong. Then overnight into Wednesday morning, more widespread activity. Then that will start to pull away. Here's your 7-day planner. Temperatures will cool off. 85 tomorrow, 82 with thunderstorms Wednesday. 76 thunderstorms around on Thursday. Rain, right? Then we're dry. Friday, Saturday, we start to dry out. Temperatures in the upper 70s. Those overnight lows on occasion in the 50s, and we'll be quite comfortable. We'll be back right after this.
Morning Indiana, GMA is next.
Plenty of damage in Madison County tonight after tornadoes moved through several communities in that area. We do have crews on the ground speaking with people, assessing the damage. We also understand Madison County Emergency Management Agency is going door to door in a second round to make sure people have been accounted for. We do have more coverage for you on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com, and our coverage will continue on Good Morning Indiana starting at 4:30.